España.
Una cucaracha.
Ganancho. Mo pussy ka ganancho.
J'ai été de tête.
沖縄はどこですか？
沖縄どこですか？はい、違いますね。はい、次。
Oui. I think that it's important for you to know a language other than your own because it can help you connect with a person on a different level.
Was gefällt dir?
Fußball gefällt mir.
I want them to become world citizens, not just a citizen of their own community.
Asia.
We all experience the same things. We all have the same basic wants and needs.
Что вы думаете, можно увидеть в
You
Санкт-Петербурге?
get to speak with people that you might not have been able to speak with before, learn a little bit more about their culture. It could change your life, learning more about how somebody else lives their life. So I think it's vital.
These students here are studying Japanese, and many of my students in this class are of Japanese heritage. Not all of them, but many of them are. There's a very large Japanese American population here in San Francisco. There's so many opportunities for them to actually use the language and culture that they're learning. I went over to Japan without knowing the language at all, but I immediately fell in love with the culture and the people and the things that I was encountering. And I realized that in order for me to really understand this culture, I needed to learn the language because I could see how much the two were connected. And I decided I have to go back and become a Japanese teacher in America. I have to share this wonderful place, this wonderful country with other Americans, American students. It would be opening a window to the world for them. はじめまして、マーガレット・ダイヤーです。クララン小学校の日本語の教師です。I'm Margaret Dyer, and I teach Japanese here at Clarendon Elementary School in San Francisco.
ジェスチャーをやります。皆さんジェスチャーしますね。始めましょう。どうぞ。Simone, Emmy.
I don't have my own classroom, so when I come in and I greet the students that I'm teaching and I greet these students, I walk into the class when they're already in session, so they're probably finishing up another subject, and when they see Margaret Sensei, Margaretto Sensei, then they know that Japanese is about to start, and they'll get ready for me. We open with the greeting because that's the way we begin lessons in Japan. It gives opening and closure.
おはようございます。皆さん。今日はもう皆さん知っていますね。挨拶をしました。そして私ロールプレイします。ジェスチャーをやります。皆さんジェスチャーしますね。そしてカードゲームをやります。ワークシートをやって何ですか？これは大事ですね。これは皆さん覚えています。ライアンとかマラヤマヤ皆さんやってください。ポスターをやります。ポスターステーションのゲームで、そしてペアワークはフィルムストリップ覚えていますか？フィルムストリップのことなんですけども、最後に文化そして挨拶をやりましょう。
I always have the agenda up on the board for a couple of reasons. I want the kids to know what's coming up, what will be expected of them today, so they have an idea of the flow of the lesson. It's also helpful for me to see where I am and to be a constant reminder if I'm omitting an activity or forgetting an activity. It's in the target language because as much exposure as I can give them to Japanese is the best thing.
起きます。おはようございます。顔を洗います。 朝ごはんを食べます。お腹すいた。
I wanted them to walk away with being able to know the vocabulary to talk about their daily routine.
コーンフレークを食べます。おいしい。
The other objective was for them to be able to really understand some of the differences and similarities between Japanese culture in the daily routine and daily activities and American culture.
出かけます。行ってきます。
By doing a role play, captures their attention. It's really to get comprehensible input. I have different things around the room that set the stage naturally before I began the role play. I had the pictures behind me, the poster that the student had made of daily routine. All of those things are background that the kids walk into the classroom, they see, oh, we're going to do daily routine today.
晩ご飯を食べます。晩ご飯を食べます。飲みます。飲みます。そしてお風呂に入ります。
It's all about setting the stage and comprehensible input, hearing that wait time before I expect them to start producing the language. Having the authentic materials makes the whole setting of what I'm doing more realistic. So the kids can really feel like, hey, she's in Japan right now. She's wearing a Japanese robe that's really from Japan.
おやすみなさい。おやすみなさい。寝ます。はい、皆さんジェスチャーをやりましょう。立ってください。
The research has shown that when the kids are actually moving their body, I'm getting in the bodily kinesthetic multiple intelligence here, when they're moving their body and they're saying it, it helps them retain it or it helps them remember it.
朝ごはんを食べます。朝ごはんを食べます。朝ごはんを食べます。朝ごはんを食べます。歯を磨きます。歯を磨きます。歯を磨きます。歯を磨きます。出かけます。
Language and culture are inseparable. They are so intertwined that if you try to learn one without the other, then you're doing a disservice to the language or the culture.
帰ります。帰ります。帰ります。帰ります。これからカードゲームをやります。皆さん、机の中にフォルダがあります。取ってください。そして白い封を出してください。そしてカードを出してカードをバラバラにしてください。はい、カードをバラバラにしてください。これから並べます。並べます。皆さん覚えてますか？並べます。カルタはしない。カルタしないです。今は並べます。並べます。いいですか？はい。起きます。起きます。起きます。はい。顔を洗います。顔を洗います。顔を洗います。起きます。
So they're hearing it for the third or fourth time today, and they are having to find the picture based on what I'm saying and line it up in the sequence that the daily routine would happen. So there's some addressing the logical intelligence where the mathematical logical person would think, oh, well, I wash my face first and then I eat breakfast and then I go to school. Plus, it's the listening comprehension.
そして皆さん、紫ワークシートを出してください。紫ワークシートを出してください。何か言います。例えば、顔を洗います。言います。1番、顔を洗います。そして皆さんは1番書いてください。2番書いてください。3番書いてください。1、2、3、4、5、6、8、8まで。いいですか？はい。はい。はい、やりましょう。はい。1番、寝ます。1番、寝ます。
The worksheet activity was formative assessment. It's my way to, in the middle of the lesson, gauge how many kids have gotten it, how many kids still need some work on it, to be able to see what they are coming away with in the lesson.
はい。はい、よくできました。いいですか？1番は何ですか？1番。寝ます。はい、2番はお風呂に入ります。はい、3番。勉強します。 ます勉強します
And I noticed that for some of the kids, they still had trouble here. They didn't know it until I did the gesture. When I did the gesture, then they got it. So I can see that I want to work more with this vocabulary. I need to do more comprehensible input, and I need to do more guided practice with them.
これは何ですかこれは何ですかはいどうぞ
掃除をしています
掃除をしますはいどうぞこれは何ですかはいどうぞ
勉強しています
勉強しますはいよくできましたどうぞ
We've done a lot of comprehensible input. We've given them multiple chances to hear it and to say in unison with the rest of the class what these different daily routines are.
はいこれは何ですか
This part of the activity lets them say it.
どうぞ
晩ご飯を食べます
はい晩ご飯を食べますよくできました
If we're looking at this from a Japanese cultural standpoint, the bath would not occur in the morning, the bath would be at night. So, the kid brought that to light, and then the kids moved over to that section.
お風呂します
お風呂に入ります
お風呂にsay it again
お風呂に入ります
お風呂に入ります
はいよくできましたありがとうレイチェルさん
Before you take a bath in Japan, you would wash yourself outside of the bathtub, and then minute you wash yourself, then you would get in. But in America, you would just get in and then you would just wash yourself in the tub.
はいこれは何ですかこれは何ですかどうぞ
We went through, and so we could all hear it and say it and do it one more time before they have to do it on their own.
そしてこれは何ですかグレタどうぞ
寝ます
寝ますはいよくできました
It's a nice glimpse into a real Japanese person's life, and it was perfect in that the photo panels happened to show her from waking up to going to sleep, which is exactly what I wanted to cover in this lesson. And even within the photo panels just showing the daily routine, it's not just the daily routine. You can see so much culture within those pictures.
これは何ですか
起きます
起きますそうですねはいどうぞ
So we're going from a guided practice activity into another guided practice activity that's getting into more independent practice when they move to the poster stations.
起きます
起きますはい
朝ごはんを食べます
朝ごはんを食べます
顔洗います
顔を洗いますはい
出かけます
出かけます
勉強します
勉強します勉強しますはい
昼ご飯を食べます
昼ごはんを食べますはいよくできました
勉強します
勉強します
掃除をします
掃除をします
宿題をします
宿題をします
晩ご飯を食べます
晩ご飯を食べますはい皆さんよくできましたよくできましたこれから時計をセットしてくださいそしてこれを言ってください例えば